Okay, welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic That's Known Classic. This is episode 1348 and Doubleshot number 1242. First time in quite a while for this particular review series, action discussing some DC trades. Yep. First up is a big, thick book, came out just a couple years ago. Event Leviathan by Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev. Can you believe this book came out just 2 years ago? Yeah, it's not been very long. Now, this trade does collect the actual 6-issue miniseries, plus the Leviathan Rising one-shot. Yep. The one-shot itself is, simply put, just set up for some other Superman stuff prior to this. Like there's something with the Jimmy Olsen one, which sets up his series, Lois Lane, and Superman, I think, mostly in the pages of Action Comics. This particular miniseries was actually set up in a story arc in the pages of Action Comics. Yep. Now, the primary players in the storyline, now the main antagonist, is Leviathan himself. Yes, a guy called Leviathan. I will reveal who he is in a minute. The primary players of this event are Batman, Green Arrow, Superman, Lois Lane, the Damian Robin, Zatanna, Plastic Man. Yes, Plastic Man is in here. The Kate Spencer Manhunter, along with minor roles by Supergirl, Batgirl, and the Silencer. Yep, the Silencer. Also, Talia al Ghul plays a role in this book, too. You probably think, okay, all these names, with the exception of the Silencer, everybody's probably heard of. You're probably thinking, who the heck is a Silencer? This is a character created by Dan Abbott and John Romita Jr., who had their own brief ongoing series that actually, I think, ended not long after this event concluded. Yep. Now, when you look at her, she basically is DC's version of the Punisher and Kick-Ass. Though this probably also gave Mark Millar's inspiration to the female version of Kick-Ass, per se. Leviathan, I'm going to reveal it right now. Leviathan is actually Mark Shaw, a.k.a. the third person to assume the title of Manhunter. Yes, a character who, believe it or not, is the creation of the late Jack the King Kirby. This revelation actually makes some sense, because in the last Manhunter ongoing series, the Mark Hunter did kind of turn Mark Shaw into a villain, because they had to, because of some previous brainwashing he basically went through. He started to kill off some people who assumed the identity of Manhunter, like a whole bunch of people, with the exception of like one or two. Now, I should point out, though, in this continuity for DC Comics, which started back in 2011, roughly 10 years ago, he only made one appearance prior to becoming Leviathan. That was in a Villains Month one-shot. Yes, he appeared in the Cheetah one-shot, where he was an agent of... He was a U.S. Marshal, believe it or not. Yep, he was U.S. Marshal, and his job was really to capture the Cheetah. And that was his only appearance. And that was back in 2013, believe it or not. Yes, 2013. Now, it was Bendis who turned into Leviathan. I'm not really sure why he picked him for, but it basically, when it was revealed that he was Leviathan, it was actually quite shocking. I don't think anybody was expecting him to be a Leviathan. But I should point out, though, there was another big-type villain, basically, where there was a storyline involving him, and, like, the thing is, with him, like, he's this mysterious individual. Who is this person? Now, in the case of that one, that was a disappointing revelation, though it was part of a storyline that nobody cared for. This was something people do care about. Leviathan. Yes, Leviathan. And him being Mark Shaw... I don't think anyone was expecting him to be Leviathan. I should point out that Leviathan, the organization itself, was set up by Talia al Ghul in the pages of Batman Inc. Yes, Batman Inc. So technically, the organization is a Grant Morrison creation. The Silencer herself, her being here does kind of make some sense, because she was a member of Leviathan prior to becoming the Silencer. That's indeed true. Batman being here because he fought Leviathan before. In the case of some of the other ones, well, Superman and Lois Lane, because they were investigating them in the pages of, well, the Action Comics title. Robin makes sense, because his mother was leader of the organization. As for everybody else, it seems quite surprising that Bendis picked these characters. Now, are they basically the Justice League? Not really, no. Zatanna herself plays a role in here, but it's not really noticeable exactly what she does in here. So, This is an event I don't think anybody was expecting to be such good as this was, but this definitely was a good event, and I at least got to praise Bendis for his near year-long build for the story. Yeah, he basically built up the story with his second arc for Action Comics, which later basically spread off this story. We also have a small role played by Amanda Waller of Task Force X. Now, part of the storyline, these foreign organizations were taken out by Leviathan. Cobra, yes, the terrorist organization Cobra. No, not the one associated with G.I. Joe, DC's Cobra, which made its debut 10 years prior to the G.I. Joe villain organization Cobra. Spiral, which is a Grant Morrison creation, which later became an integral part of the Grayson title. Argus, which is a Jeff Johns creation. They also feel they were basically attacked. They were going to build a new headquarters, which is big, humongous symbol known as the Odyssey. Which, okay, that was actually pretty cool. Task Force X, aka the Suicide Squad, that they're still around, and the DO. Interesting. The DO. Yes, the organization created back in the 1990s. Yes. Who, by the way, the director still is Bones. Yes, frickin' Bones. He's the still director. This particular event has got good... It's basically well-paced. And, well, the revelation was fantastic. And here's the thing. It wasn't the first person that basically who unveiled that Leviathan was Mark Shaw. You're probably thinking, it was Batman, wasn't it? Nope, it was Superman. Which... that makes some total sense, because it seems like a lot of the time, usually the first person to find out about this stuff is Batman, but having it where Superman basically reveals this is fantastic. Also, there's a brief tie-in from Action Comics here, where you have then the owner of the Daily Planet, this older, who was basically this woman who was part of the Invisible Mafia. She actually bought the Daily Planet at the end of the first story for Action Comics. Yeah, the Invisible Mafia itself was a very weak start to Brian Michael Bendis' run for Action Comics. I know friend Tiffy, he does not like that run at all, because he basically doesn't like what Bendis did with the way he wrote the Superman family. Now, oddly enough, Superboy himself, John Kent, is nowhere to be seen in this story. Which, okay, that makes some sense, because, well, Leviathan attacks everybody. But this is actually a purely fun event, and let me show you some artwork in here by Alex Maleev. Yeah. I'm going to show off the, here's some Alex Maleev when he draws Batman. It looks so freaking good. I love it. It is so freaking fantastic. I've met Alex Maleev. Very nice person. And look, Leviathan. So fantastic. Yeah, great revelation here. Plus, also, love this page of Batman with the Batarang. It is so freaking good. I think Alex Maleev himself should at least got an award for this particular event. Oh, yeah. Merlin is here, too. Yes, Merlin. The Dark Archer. Yep, he's here. Just cuz. Let's see if I can find it here. The actual, Let's see if I can find it here. What the building Odyssey. Here it is. Right here. This is what it looks like. It looks like a logo. Yeah, it's a nice looking building, but wow, that is a big, humongous building. This must have cost taxpayers a lot of money to build this damn thing. Yep. But yeah, great event. I do recommend it. I went with my friend Tibby. I wonder what he thought of this event. I'm sure he may have liked it, and I know he does like the revelation of who Leviathan was, but the actual event, I know he didn't like one issue. I think it was issue 5. He thought it was boring. But I wonder what he thought of the actual event itself. Okay, moving on to the pencil trade of this series, Justice League Odyssey, Volume 3, Final Frontier. This basically collects issue 13-18 of Justice League Odyssey. Now, basically, at the end of the previous trade, well, and also in issue 12, Jessica Cruz died while members, just like Odyssey, betrayed her to join Darkseid while they were brainwashed. Mainly Cyborg, Starfire, and Azrael. Now, the thing is, I have heard that basically a lot of people were upset at DC over this. So, lucky enough, in the very next issue, Jessica Cruz alive and well. I have heard E. Defense Skyver's reaction to this. He's sad. He's not like, oh, he's not ticked off for DC for killing off one of his characters that he helped create. He's not upset with it, but he was definitely sad at the fact that she got killed off, but she got brought back with this strange stuff here. This basically also leads the formation of a new lineup for Just Like Odyssey, which is basically led by Jessica Cruz, and in this book she recruits Black Star. Yes, you are thinking, Black Star, you mean Starfire's evil sister? Yes. We also have Daxstar of the Red Lanterns. Always great to see this guy. We have this man named, I think his name Odyssey, I think his name is. Turns out this guy is actually Orion of the New Gods. Which, the reason, and he actually wears a mask in here. The reason why he does that, because what happened in the annual for Justice League, where this creature was going out and killing the New Gods, I'm like, it seems as though that Scott Snyder was trying to create Death New Gods, but at least wasn't lame, like what Jim Starlin did with Death New Gods miniseries. That was okay. I have nothing against Jim Starlin, but it seems as though when it comes to his DC work, it tends to be hit or miss with me personally, because sometimes his work is good, sometimes his work is not that good. I love the stuff he did KG Beast, because I think he's a great character. And in the case of the family itself, that was a pretty okay story. I do think killing off basically a minor was not exactly a good idea, but it was something people wanted. People wanted Robin to die, so he basically went with what happened back then. But this is done completely different. So she basically has a legalized deputization to deputize people because she's a member of the Justice League, though not part of the main roster at the moment, but she's still a member of Justice League. And she uses basically Orion ship as their base because the previous ship used, I think, if I remember, at the start of the series, they were going to use Brainiac's ship, which was captured at the end of No Justice miniseries. But I think it was destroyed. Yeah, I believe the ship was destroyed, or at least fell in the hands of Darkseid. Here they use Orion ship, and they try to figure out a way to try to undo the damage that Darkseid did. They're basically, in the way of these issues, just building up toward the very end of the series. The reason being because the book got canceled after 25 issues. The book at least had a good ending to it, but I'll discuss that when the final trade comes out. Now, Dan Abbott basically still the writer of this book, with the artwork done by Will Conrad, Cliff Richards, Chris Cross, Labu Underwood, Danny Meeke, and Scott Hanna. The collection cover art here is done by Will Conrad and Rain Burrito, who's actually the colorist in here. Which, here's some interior artwork. Yes, Black Star and Daxstar. Yep. This book overall is just really good. Thoroughly enjoyable to read. And I personally can't wait to get my hands on final trade because this is a really damn good series. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Damn good book. I also give it Event Leviathan, also a 9.5 out of 10. Okay, be there in a minute. Yep. But two really good books overall. Can't wait to talk about the next book because, well, the next trade I'm talking about is going to be, I'm going to be reading it soon. It's the final trade for a run that not a lot of people like very much. Okay? You'll find with this next episode for this review series. Okay? Next video. Bye.